Bitter criticism morning. Yeah, we don't care about morning and Jesus and Eastern. We will just criticize no matter the season, no matter the schedule, no matter the hour. We'll criticize every forever. Yeah, I have a problem here with the. Well, I hate this. Maybe we'll look. Yeah, you know what I did? I put the one leg from the tripod. I take down the one leg. I guess it's fine. Well, this morning here we are in Chile as always. And I liking very much this CGTN from China. Even the name sounds like Chinese, isn't it? CGTN. And I am with my proper Chinese hat. No, it's not a Chinese hat. Well, oh no, it's not working. Just a second. I guess that's it. Yeah. So we're gonna read some CGTN news. And you may say Chinese, you know, right here, right now in Chile, we have a campaign for tomorrow it will be the election from conselheiros, how to say it, like deputies for the new constitutions. So we are in campaign here. There are a campaign and tomorrow is the election, and there's a campaign that says no to communism. Maybe I'm gonna find it. Just wait a minute. Just wait 1 second. I did it. I made it. I almost got to the Antonio Barchesi committee elector. How to say it? Well, I'm not a fluent English. Well, what they have a campaign against communism. Look, say no to communism. And I don't know. They deliver a lot here in my house because I don't know, because I'm communist. And people are afraid of communism in 2023. They are still afraid of communism. They think communism can be real. And even me, I like 1 month ago, like 2 weeks ago, I was not thinking about communism anymore. But the signs of communism, the conditions for communism are always latent. They're always there. Like the internet, the YouTube, I don't know, the possibilities to learn about anything, even communism, learn about Leon Trotsky, for example, still there. And I could say a lot of channels, like, well, the channel I used it to learn a lot of communism is COTV, this Causa Operária TV from Brazil, COTV, and they made a lot of talks about Leon Trotsky or Lenin. Is a Brazilian channel, so the conditions are ripe, and even I don't know if the real communism makes some mistakes in the past, and I guess capitalism is always worse. Anyway, they are fighting communism here, and the liberalism Chile is full of problems, you know. And that's a big the liberalism is a big problem, not communism. And here we are reading Chinese news, and people may say that China is a bad system because they enslave their people, but this is a way to recognize him, because all the stuff we see is made on China, the cell phone, the computer, everything, I guess. I don't know. A lot of things are made in China, so you have to recognize them work, and realize that system is made him the great superpower in the world. Maybe not yet, but I guess they will. They have the muscle, the brawn, they have the willingness, and they will be the great superpower. And maybe because of slave work, but because of work, because of Marxism, because of work itself. So this way is a way to recognize them. So reading news from CGTN, yeah. And I will read the first news this morning after a lot of conversation, isn't it? Politics. This is from 2 days ago. She plants trees in Beijing, urging more afforestation efforts for beautiful China. Beautiful China, yeah. Maybe what people think China lacks is beauty, but I don't think so. China have a lot of landscapes, awesome landscapes, like with the river and those cliffs, those fjords, those Chinese fjords. That region is awesome. So we have a lot news from China here, and there's a photo with Xi smiling. You cannot say he's the, well, you know, here in Chile we have a humorist that said that Boric is the Winnie the Pooh beer, like that beer from that she don't like, that compares with the Winnie the Pooh. So this humorist made this joke, and just to show that Chile is the best country because the president don't censorship anyone who compares him to Winnie the Pooh. So I don't know. I don't care. If I will Chinese, I will understand that she don't like to be compared because I don't know. He's some vanity of him. I don't think he's so similar to Winnie the Pooh. Anyway, I Winnie the Pooh thing is not important. You know, you better shut up. You know, think about an important thing, not Winnie the Pooh. You know, we are in a country where the president take that joke, but they have a real problems. You know, we have real problems, not Winnie the Pooh problem. Anyway, Chinese President Xi Jinping, also General Secretary of the Communist Party of China Central Committee and Chairman of the Central Military Commission, talks with young students during a voluntary tree planting activity in Beijing, capital of China, on April 4, 2023. This is from Xinhua. I like the sound of Chinese Xinhua. Chinese President Xi Jinping on Wednesday attended on a voluntary tree planting activity in Beijing and called for more efforts in afforestation to write a new chapter in building a beautiful China. You know, they gonna make it. You know, that's what is good about China. They make the stuff. They have the things done. She also General Secretary of the Communist Party of China Central Committee and Chairman of the Central Military Commission made the remarks while attending the tree planting activity at an afforestation site in Beijing's Xiaoyang district. At present and in the future, green development is a major strategy for China's development, said Xi, adding that carrying out voluntary tree planting activities is a vivid practice of promoting land greening work and building a beautiful China. It is the 11th year that she has participated in the annual tree planting activity as the General Secretary. Who will be better than a tree planting activity from the government, you know, a free planting stuff, because communism is all about free stuff, you know, and capitalism is all about negligence and egoism. You will never plant trees with the president. While planting sapling of various types of trees, she asked the young students around him about their studies, encouraging them to love work and become capable young people with sound moral grounding, intellectual ability, physical vigor, aesthetic sensibility, and work skills. China tops the world and do not smoke opium. Bitter criticism. I'm sorry, but you know, there was the shameful century. China tops the world in the scale of artificial afforestation, and the planting area is still expanding. She said, adding that China and the Chinese people have made notable contributions to greening the earth and coping with global climate change. You know, I have to say that in the world, not much people are trying to fight climate change. You know, I think that people just take it for granted that the earth is gonna collapse. Maybe I wanna become a socialist, a green socialist kind of, because nobody's doing. Hailing forests and capable of conserving water, creating economic profits, boosting grain production, and serving as a carbon sink. She said afforestation will benefit future generations and should be continued consistently. Speaking of the afforestation efforts in Beijing, She called for an appropriate proportion of different tree species in the line with the biological and ecological chain, and advancing afforestation in the whole city. She highlighted green development as the country's major development strategy now and for the foreseeable future, and called nationwide tree planting campaigns an activity practiced to advance afforestation and building a beautiful China. He asked all regions and departments to launch voluntary tree planting campaigns based on local conditions and create affordable conditions for the public to participate in these campaigns, with input from Xinhua. And we have another news from CGTN. I have news from Russia Today too. Maybe I will search news from Iran, but because I don't trust Al Jazeera. Al Jazeera is from Qatar. I don't know. Maybe I should trust Al Jazeera, but Al Jazeera is like, I don't know. I will prefer some Iran news. I will see this the next time. But maybe somehow I don't hear nothing about Iran news. Like, we have the CGTN newsletter from the government that don't say the name of the journalist, and we have Russia Today, but we have nothing about Iran and nothing about North Korea. I'm talking serious, dude. I want to read news from North Korea. That is not North Korea. North Korea. Yeah, you can say North Korea is a narco country. No. This is only joke. You know, I'm very. Here in Chile, we have Eduardo Artés. Is a Stalinist politician that he actually went to North Korea and he says that it's okay, it's fine, and I believe him. I believe anything is better than capitalism, dystopic capitalism, where everybody's dying for, I don't know, for anything, for stress, have no time, have any. I guess even Chile is even worse than the rest of the neoliberalism world because of cultural things. I don't know. I don't like they're like hysterical. Anyway, I will read another news. China. This is from yesterday. This is interesting because it looks like French is not a classical imperialism from NATO. Looks like France. Look, I'm gonna read it and you will understand what I'm saying. China. From yesterday. French President Macron arrives in Beijing on state visit. Understand? Macron is visiting China during this total war. It's maybe total war because China is under, you know, last week or 3 days ago, the Taiwan president was in the United States. So now Macron is on China. What's going on with France? Maybe France is escaping the NATO narrative, you know? France, maybe Italy, maybe, I don't know. French President Emmanuel Macron has arrived in Beijing to kick off his state visit to China from April 5 to 7. Right now he's there on the cliffs, on the fjords. Well, Macron is a happy gay, isn't it? He's a happy gay guy. According to the Chinese Foreign Ministry, during Macron's visit, Chinese President Xi Jinping will meet with his French counterpart to map out the future development of bilateral relations, deepen China-France and China-EU cooperation in various fields, and have in a deep exchange of views of major international and regional hotspots issues. Chinese Premier Li Qiang and top legislator Zhao Leji will also meet with Macron. The French president will also visit Guangzhou, the capital of Guangdong province. Former French Prime Minister Jean-Pierre Raffarin, President of the French Constitutional Council Laurent Fabius, several French ministers and members of parliament, as well as more than 60 leaders of large enterprises and over 20 cultural representatives reportedly have accompanied the French president during the visit. So it's all about business. 60 leaders of large enterprises. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that, I don't know, a lot of sports brand, like, I don't know, Quechua. You know Quechua, the hiking brand is French. Quechua is not Peruvian, you know. And that's it. And I was thinking about that, and we don't have any brand here in Chile. And if we had one, like maybe Lipi, we have maybe a Lipi sportwear that looks like it's Chilean. But I'm pretty sure that Lipi sportwear, Lipi stuff is made on China. So it's just like what I was saying before. All the stuffs are made in China, and that's why China is becoming the great superpower, because of work, because of Marxism, because the real, how to say, the materialism, you can say is slave work, but it's work nevertheless. You know, the only countries winning with this is China and France, but China is winning more. It doesn't matter if the wages are so low, there are wages nevertheless, you know. There are wages in China and no works, no jobs in the rest of the world, you know. Unemployment in the rest of the world. There's employed in China and unemployed in the rest of the world, you know. It's Marxism. Marxism is materialism. The Chinese side has said it is ready to work with France to take this visit as an opportunity to produce new outcomes in the close and enduring comprehensive strategic partnership between the two countries, promote the sound development of China-EU relations, and contribute to world peace, stability and development. Over the recent years, Sino-French economic and trade exchanges have maintained a good momentum of growth. The latest statistics from France showed that bilateral trade in goods exceeded the 100 billion euro, 109.5 billion mark for the first time in 2022, reaching 101.8 billion euros, a year-on-year increase of 14.6%. Yeah, so I think Macron is not fighting China. At least it's not fighting China, isn't it? Maybe Stoltenberg or I forgot the Scholz, the German president. But Germany is have straight ties with China. I don't understand I don't understand why Germany is so against China, and maybe Russia. Well, it's a tricky world, isn't it? It's a tricky world. Anyway, another news from CGTN. No, I'm gonna read a news from Russia Today. Look, gonna see something from Russia Today. Now we have a lot of news from CGTN, a lot of great news, a lot of interesting news. Look, I have a news from Russia Today that is also great, and talks about Shell, that is a Deutsch oil stealer, stealing oil from everywhere, Brazil, Nigeria. Look, Shell accused of trying to delay Nigerian oil spills lawsuit. You know, they're trying to contaminate Nigeria, poor Nigeria, contaminated by the Dutch. The British, oh no, it's British, I'm sorry, but I know that this Shell is also, well, Russia Today saying Shell is a British company. The Russia really hates the British. The British company is attempting to shield itself for scrutiny, lawyers have claimed. Shell plc has been accused of plotting to delay an oil spill pollution lawsuit. An oil spill pollution lawsuit filed against it by thousands of Nigerians. Their legal representatives argued on Tuesday. The British multinational oil and gas company is under fire from over 13,000 people who have sued, and a local subsidiary SPDC for alleged pollution in the Niger Delta. Sorry, you can say Niger because it's a bad word related to slavery, but I think it's funny. You can say I'm a nigger, you know. It's like a close relation. You call you a nigger. Anyway, in February, over 11,000 individuals and 17 institutions in the Niger Delta area of Ogal sued Shell over oil spills claims, adding to the existing suit filed in 2015 by over 2,000 residents of Bill, how to say. The combined cases are seeking damages from Shell in the High Court in London, and demanding the energy giant clean up residual oil and compensate for devastating environmental damage. The claimants, who are represented by lawyers from the UK law firm Lakeday, say that they have lost their livelihoods because their ability to farm and fish has been largely destroyed. The UK Supreme Court ruled in 2021 that Shell owed the claimants duty of care. Shell has denied any wrongdoing and says that the majority of the oil spills are caused by illegal third-party interference, such as pipeline sabotage and oil theft. It could be real. Can you imagine in Nigeria, people stolen from? Yeah, you can imagine that in Nigeria everybody stole. That's why Giannis Antetokounmpo and his family fly to Greece. That's why Giannis is not Nigerian, he is Greek. Because Nigeria is a wasteland, with a lot of people stealing oil. You can say anything, a pipeline of oil, and niggas steal it. And maybe that's true. The company asked the High Court on Tuesday to set a trial date for early 2024 to determine whether parts of the case were filed too late and whether SPDC is liable for oil spills caused by third-party interference. It also proposed 2 more trials to address allegations against its subsidiary as well as Shell's alleged liability as its parent company. Putin approves payment to Shell over Russia exit. No, this is another news. But this is an interesting news, isn't it? Putin approves payment to Shell over Russia exit. I guess I'm going to Russia, dude, because they have all the gas and oil, all the oil. Lawyers for the complainants have argued in London's High Court that the corporation has attempted to evade scrutiny, according to Reuters. You know what I know about Shells? I really know is that in the coup d'état of Brazilian Dilma Rousseff president in 2016, they stole the oil, the Brazilian oil. They stole it. You know, the next president, Michel Temer, he give the Brazilian oil away, and who buy it was Shell and Equinor from Norwegian. So Shell and Equinor are great companies because of stealing. They steal oil from all over the world. I'm pretty sure that there's not a Nigerian oil company. Why not? Because Shell is stolen. Lawyers for the complainants have argued in London's High Court that the corporation has attempted to evade scrutiny, according to Reuters. In court filings, the petitioner's lawyer, Richard Hermer, argued that Shell's proposal is nothing more than a ploy to shield from scrutiny. He also alleged that if Shell's application is granted, the final decision on the lawsuit could be delayed until 2029, which his client cannot afford. Shell's lawyer, James Goldsmith, in response to Hermer's claims, stated that the claimants are responsible for the ongoing delays due to their failure to provide sufficient details about their cases. This is not an attempt to delay matters or out-resource the claimants, he said, but we think it is. Anyway, this is like the Russia Today, the Western journalism with a lot of poison. There's a lot of poison. Now we're gonna read more CGTN news because there's no poison here. Poison. You know, Poison is a metal band that I never heard. Oh, it just passed. Wait a second. Look, here we have a great news from CGTN. China. This is about war with Taiwan. Joint patrol in central northern Taiwan Strait launched. I'm reading very few news. I should read faster or read lesser. Read just some parts of the news. I have only one more news that I want to read it, or two. Well, I'm gonna read this one, another from Russia Today, and the final one. Joint patrol in central northern Taiwan Straits launched. This is from yesterday. A special operation of joint patrol and inspection in the central and northern parts of the Taiwan Straits has been launched, the Fujian Maritime Safety Administration said in a statement on Wednesday. The operation will last for 3 days, during which the Haixiong 06 patrol vessel fleet will conduct patrol and inspection operations in the area. The fleet will patrol and inspect the direct shipping containers route from Bintang County, Southeast China's Fujian province, to Southeast China's Taiwan, including the passenger shipping route, the habitual navigation routes of ships in the Taiwan Straits, the congested areas of commercial fishing vessels, and areas where frequent illegal sand mining activities take place. Illegal sand mining. I have no idea what that is. Mining sand. During the operation, maritime law enforcement personnel will conduct on-site inspections of cross-strait cargo ships and construction ships to ensure the safety of navigation and the orderly and safe operation of K-water projects. I guess will never be a war between, I don't know. I guess it was just this Ukrainian invasion and that's it. There will be no war, I guess. This was a short news. We have another news from Russia Today here that says Poland to buy surplus grain flooding from Ukraine. The government seeks to offset the negative impact of cheap imports on domestic prices. The Polish government is starting to buy grain with state funds to cope with influx of supplies from Ukraine. Agriculture Minister Henryk Kowalczyk. The Polish names are pretty tricky because they have a lot of consonants. Kowalczyk announced on Wednesday before resigning from his post amid growing public discontent. The purchase will be launched immediately after the Easter holidays. Today, the State Finance Commission allocates the first 600 million zlotys, 140 million to this purchase. The press service of the Cabinet of Ministers of the Republic quoted Kowalczyk as saying, the minister reportedly added that the Polish authorities will now allow the construction of granaries without obtaining building permits. According to the minister, Warsaw expects to receive a significant amount from the funds that the EU allocates to deal with issues regarding supplies of Ukrainian grain. As part of an EU initiative, all tariffs and quotas have been lifted on Ukrainian grain export to the bloc's 27 member states in order to enable its transfer across the world, including Africa. The grain has been transported to the bloc through Poland and other neighboring countries by road and rail. However, much of it stayed there, particularly in Poland, due to lack of transport capacity to move it on. Poland has been prioritizing imports of coal after imposing a ban on Russian imports. The inflow of Ukrainian grain, which has affected prices and local sales, has resulted in protests by Polish farmers demanding the introduction of tariffs. This is completely chaos, isn't it? This, along with the European Commission's EC decision to extend duty-free imports of Ukrainian grain until June 2024, has reportedly forced Kowalczyk to quit his position. and it is clear that this demand will not be met by the European Commission. At this point, I decided to resign from the post of Agriculture Minister. Kowalczyk said. The Prime Minister of 5 EU states, including Poland, wrote to EC President Ursula von der Leyen on Friday to demand actions on Ukraine agricultural imports. So this is a funny news from Russia that the EU is I don't know, is losing a lot of battles, isn't it? I guess it's funny because, well, there's a lot of poison from West. The Russian know how to be poisoned. Let's read a less poisoned news from China, because poison is not good. You know, the Russian is laughing about the Poland and the EU. This is a so tough and violent world, isn't it? This news is from yesterday, April 5. Companies drowned by oncoming independent customs operation in Hainan. What called my attention here is Hainan. Hainan should be the best place in the world because it's the southest part of China. It's a tropical island. It's like Vietnam, but it's China. You know, for me, this noise of the buses are so loud because, I don't know, the microphone is not so near, I guess. I don't know, it's not so low. I don't know, the noise is for me so high here. Again, look, this noise is high for me. And the last one, companies drowned by oncoming independent customs operations in Hainan. I should live in Hainan. And we have a Chinese worker washing a tailor's line of, I don't know, orange juice, I guess. And this is a short news. China's southern Hainan province will start island-wide independent customs operations in 2025. In preparation, the local government is testing out the tariff-free policy for domestic sales of products after value added in its Huangpu border port zone. Such policies are prompting more companies to invest and expand their business in Hainan. You know, if I won the lottery, and I will invest in Hainan, I will take cupuaçu and plants there. You know, all these fever anti-communists made me think about a poetry that says, I think the two first lines that says, keep dreaming, you will not win the lottery. And that's it. Yeah, there's a poetry that says, keep dreaming, you will not win the lottery, and make the communism. Like, yeah, that was the main idea. But if I win the lottery, I will take I guess I will make a company, a cupuaçu company, and I will go to Hainan to make, I don't know, ice cream from cupuaçu and sell to the world, I guess. I don't know. Cupuaçu tree. And we have a basketball news this is from long ago. This is from two weeks ago. Nowitzki, Wade, and Popovich had Hall of Fame 2023 class finalists. Maybe Popovich is He's retired. He's retired. I don't know exactly how Popovich is right now. Chinese like this is also from CGTN. Dirk Nowitzki of the Dallas Mavericks acknowledges fans at the end of the games against San Antonio Spurs at the AT&T Center in San Antonio. This is the last game. This is just the photo. The finalist list for the 2023 class of the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame was announced during the NBA All-Star Weekend on Friday. 3 of the shiniest names on it here: Dirk Nowitzki, Dwayne Wade, and Greg Popovich. I guess their 3 will be on Hall of Fame. The question is when. Who gonna be first? I thought only the retired players can be on the Hall of Fame, and definitely Popovich will be there, and Nowitzki also, I guess, and Wade. But the question is when they will be on the Hall of Fame. And that's it. Just remembering my poem. Stop dreaming. Will not win the lottery. Oh, this is. We have problems here with the. Oh, we have problems with the tripod. I guess his name is Tripod. And that's it. 47 minutes.